Thursday morning, and it's time for Tech for Seniors Live, where technology gets its deserved deep dive. This isn't happening via Zoom, so we can't see who's joining the show. So please sign in to the chat box below as we gather around the screen, both far and wide, with curiosity as our ever-trusty guide. We'll navigate the digital seas, a knowledgeable crew, exploring all the tech tips, both old and new. No need for cameras, no need for dress. Just bring your questions and we'll address. From gadgets to apps and all the tech lore, we're here to help, to teach, and much more. So type away in the chat. Don't be shy. Our tech-savvy hosts are here to reply. It's Thursday morning. Let the tech talk flow at the Tech for Seniors Live, the best tech show.
Good morning. I'm Ron Brown. This is Tech for Senior Live. This is May the 16th. Thank you for joining us, and we have a great show for you today. Of course, it's going to be mostly about AI. The big news of the week, of course, was OpenAI's big event, followed by Google's I/O event. And guess what they talked about? Almost all AI. The Pixel phone, of course, was released last week, and they didn't even talk about it. So anyway, we're going to talk all about the news of the week, including both the OpenAI and Google's I/O event. Now, many of you are wondering who we are and where we come from. Well, we're a group of seniors that likes to talk and talk and talk. We talk so much, we've been doing it for 5 years. Yes, we got our beginnings on the Monday show, which is on Monday, right? And so but it's a Zoom meeting, and we broadcast that on Monday. And I will put in here, let me just this is our website, all the information for contact information. If you haven't seen our Monday show, it's a lot of fun. It's a live show. You can join us, and we have lots of fun, and you can interact with us. And then we have presentations, and it goes for about an hour and a half, and it's a fun time, and we get to see you. But now we can't see you, so we don't know who's out there. We have no idea who's listening. So if you are out there, please put something in the chat. Let us know where you are, who you are. And also, we sure appreciate that like and subscribe. That's always important, particularly the subscribe. A lot of people watch all our shows, but they don't subscribe. And it's really important. That subscribe button is so important for us. Of course, today, this is Tech for Senior Live, where we go over the news of the week. And we have a panel that I'll introduce in just a moment. But this is broadcast through StreamYard, and it goes out to our Facebook feed and our YouTube feed. And this is our Facebook feed. And if you want to follow along as we go through the stories and news articles today, this is where you can find them all on our Facebook page. We go through them, and they're indexed as we go through. The other thing I'd like to mention, and it's actually happening now, which is exciting, is if you want us to look at articles that you find, maybe you're going through the news articles yourself, and you think, hey, that's a pretty cool article. just shoot them over to me or any of Bob or Huey or Bill, and shoot them over to us, and we'll look them up, comment on them, and we'll add them to the list this Thursday. So thank you so much. We've had a bunch of people sent me some stuff and I've added that in. Now we may not get to it because we never get through all the articles, but we'll give it a try. We'll give it a try. Anyway, so thanks for doing that. Now let me, without further ado, introduce our crew today. Of course, they need really little introduction because I think everybody knows them. But of course, farthest away from me is Huey Poplick in Bradenton, Florida. How are you doing today, Huey?
I almost didn't make it. I fell asleep in my easy chair, and Ron had to call me by phone to wake me up. But I'm here. I don't know how awake I am.
There you go. Now, when you get your new computer, can you put a ring in there or something that'll wake you up when you?
Well, Miss A should wake me up if I tell her to do so. I didn't plan on going to sleep, so.
It's a good job you woke up. If you go to sleep and don't wake up, that's a bad thing, right?
Yeah, and I want to thank everyone who so far has contributed to my coffee fund, which is different than the Tech for Senior coffee fund, but it is on my homepage, hewie.net. There's still room for some more. I still have some more monies that I have to raise, but the computer is ordered. It'll be here about 2 weeks from today. Well, so it'll be about 3 weeks before I'll be able to use it for the show.
All right. And of course, we have a man who needs little introduction, a man who, of course, is our security expert on our Monday show. But we sort of rebranded him because of all the videos he's gotten, his interest in AI. We call him the influencer because he's putting out so much in technology. And that, of course, would be Mr. Bob Costisha from Los Lunas, New Mexico.
Good morning. A rainy day today.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Thunderstorms during the night. 4:30 this morning. That's what woke me up. It rocked the house.
I don't think anyone, at least in our area, no one complains about rain anymore because we don't have a lot of it, and we live in a rainforest, right? So send some of that rain over this way.
Well, we're very happy we got the rain. We had a big plant on Saturday. We planted almost 90 trees up at the park. So this is really a welcome surprise.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
Excellent. And the dogs will be happy.
Well, the dogs won't get in. It's fenced off. So.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, from Oklahoma City, we have, I'm going to call him multi-dexterous Bill James. And I do that because we've labeled him sort of as the gadget guy. He has an article he writes every Tuesday in our newsletter. But he's not just a gadget guy. He teaches Apple. He teaches Windows. He teaches so much stuff. He's so smart that he can only come once a month. So we don't get much of Bill, but we always want more. But he's always a lot of fun when he gets to come on the show. And I think so far, Bill, you've dodged all the tornadoes in Oklahoma, have you?
I have. I was very fortunate because last Sunday, when everyone was all excited about the fact that the entire state was going to be targeted, they were swirling all around me, but I was in the honey spot, I guess, and
nothing happened.
Nothing happened. So I was very fortunate.
Did you get your fiber hooked up yet?
It's hooked up. The workmen are no longer in the area, but they have yet to knock on my door and offer me
the golden package.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. Hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, that'll happen.
Okay, that's good. Well, let us know when it does. I think you'll be. He and I both have fiber, and it's sort of fun. It's 1 gig up and 1 gig down.
Yeah,
it's sort of.
I'm.
Bill, Bob's just shaking his head.
If I had 1 gig up, you know how many videos?
I know how many videos.
Bob, I was going to ask you: are you not eligible for that 5G? Those 5G packages?
No, if it weren't for the fact that I have internet access, I wouldn't have a phone. The service here from T-Mobile is non-existent. It's only because I have my internet through Comcast, and that's what I do. Is my phone is over the internet. I'm in one of those places. There's one spot on my property where I have good service, and it's not in the house.
It's not in the house.
Come
All
on,
right.
T-Mobile.
Well, you know what you
get
could
with
do,
it.
Bob? You could buy a travel trailer, put the travel trailer at that spot with a little aerial on it, and you could have that as your broadcast studio.
Okay, let's put up a a fundraiser.
All right. Huey, is there anyone listening?
No, not a bit.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yes. Steve Powell, Kirkland, Washington, rain and 53 degrees. Ed Weiss, 63 degrees, partly cloudy in central New Jersey. Gerald Smith, West Seattle, 53 degrees, cooler today, indeed. Dick Vogel is enjoying 86 degrees sunny day in central Florida.
Yeah, we're in our high 80s every day now.
Yeah. Bernard says Sterling Heights Computer Club, 76 degrees Fahrenheit. Mike Saunders from Chesham, UK, home again. Here we go. Hi, Mike. Sally Ann, expecting cooler weather, high of 55 degrees on Saturday. Kirkland, Washington. Ty Townsend, 64 degrees, cloudy in Philadelphia. Jolin, hey, welcome, Jolin. Made it. Good day. Greetings from the low country, Southern California, and a sunny, warm 84 degrees. Welcome, Jolin. Thanks
South
for coming.
Carolina.
Yes. Is that what it said?
No.
California.
You said.
Oh, Carolina. No, Carolina. Oops.
You're on the West Coast. She's on the East Coast.
Yeah. And Jim Ham is from Scottsdale, Arizona. Jim's actually submitted some of the articles today, so that's even better. So if you do have some articles you want us to review, we can certainly go over them. All right, let's get on with let's get to work and figure out what we're going to talk about today. Well, we know that. Hold on. Let's get up here and we'll come down. Now, so everyone should remember, of course, there were two big events this week. One of them was the Google I/O event, and that was on Tuesday, and that was, of course, in California in Cupertino. And Sundar Pichai gave his big address there. We'll talk about that in a minute. But that was upstaged by, of course, OpenAI or ChatGPT. They of course, the Google event had been around for quite a while. They'd scheduled a long time in advance, but all of a sudden, OpenAI popped in and said, "No, we're going to do our spring update or whatever you want to call it on Monday," which was the day before. And the cool part about it, they're sneaky. The cool part about it is they didn't have Sam Altman wasn't even there. It was only half an hour, and they did it in this room. And here's a picture of the room. And I think those are probably all employees there. And this was the setting that they did it in, whereas in Google, they had the cast of thousands, the big auditorium, like everyone flew in for this. It was, a big caboose. But OpenAI said, "Hey, just a minute. We want to scoot in ahead the day before, and we're just going to have a little announcement." Well, it was a big announcement for their 100 million users, right? Yeah, and I think you guys probably all saw that. We were talking about it before the show started. And I'm going to go through I'm going to go through and talk about it in a minute, but I got a couple of videos I wanted to show you here.
While you're looking for that, the one thing I'd like to comment about is the fact that they were able to keep it quiet, and it didn't leak at all what they were going to announce.
I know.
And that's very unusual for
There were
this.
speculations, but the speculations isn't what the actual announcement was.
Yeah.
And it was a major update.
It was. Now I want everyone to watch this because I took two clips now and I want to show them because it blew me away. Like there was nothing on the Google that I was really very interested in on Tuesday. It's all vaporware, but this is actually happening and we'll talk about this in just a minute. But the first video, of course, is the translation video they did, and and what you need to notice about this is the fact that how he corrects and pivots right in the middle of talking to. It's a conversational discussion about this translation and how fast it works. But watch how he talks and changes the topic, and the artificial intelligence can pivot right in the middle of things. And that's the thing that was really impressive. So watch this little clip and tell me what you think.
We asked the live audience on X to submit a few requests for what they would like us to try out here. So I will take a couple of prompts. Okay. Bot Gaskar wants to know if GPT-4o is capable of real-time translation. Mark, you want to try this one?
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
I speak Italian, so we can just do English Italian.
Let's try to do English Italian. Sure, let's do it. Hey, ChatGPT, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. How about you? How's your day going?
I'm doing great. So I would like you to function as a translator. I have a friend here who only speaks Italian, and I only speak English. And every time you hear English, I want you to translate it to Italian. And if you hear Italian, I want you to translate it back to English. Is that good?
Perfetto.
Mark, io mi chiedo se le balene potessero parlare, cosa ci direbbero?
Mike, she wonders if whales could talk, what would they tell us?
They might ask, how do we solve linear equations?
Potrebbero chiederci come risolviamo le equazioni lineari.
Sicuramente sì.
Certainly, yes.
Great. Looks like it works.
So that was the so they've of course talked about Chat GPT 4.0, not 0, but 4.0, which is which of course is the new version they're coming out, and it's going to be free. In other words, this is a free service that you're going to get. It's not a paid service, and it's going to be 4.0, not 0, but 4.0, and that will be coming very soon. Now, Hugh and I were talking earlier. I did get an update to Chat GPT 3. I guess it'd be 3 or 3.5 because I have just the free version, right? And so there was a recent update, but there will be another version, this 4.0, and it's being released now as we speak. It's not vaporware, it's actually here. So but nobody's got it. We talked about this earlier, but we haven't got it yet, but it's being released now.
Ron, I'm not sure whether the immediate translation, the way we saw it, whether that is going to be a free portion of
free or paid.
That might be in the paid version.
Although I don't think so. From the video clip says live demo of Chat GPT 4.0 real-time translation. So it's 4.0. So I think so. Now the second,
not everything in 4.0 is going to be free.
Okay. Now the second one, this is really
I was going to say this. I just checked my phone. I had Chat GPT on my phone.
Right.
And the GPT 4.0 is on there.
Oh, okay.
I have a choice of GPT 4, I have GPT 3.5, and I can toggle between the three.
Between the two. Okay, there you go. So that would be the app.
But that's 4, not 4.0.
No, this is 4.0. It's on the
4.0?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to check.
Yeah, they said it was coming out this week. All right.
Yeah.
So I want you to watch this little 3-minute clip, and this is about math instruction. Now, if I had a math teacher like this back when I was in school, this would have been so interesting. But watch this. This just blows me away. This is truly a good application of AI. Watch this.
OpenAI invited myself and my son Imran here to try out some of their new technology. And so we're curious about how good it might be at tutoring someone in math on Khan Academy. So let's get it started. It's loading up. All right, make sure it can see our screen.
Actually, in this format,
hello there. I'm here with my son, and I'd love you to tutor him on this math problem. But don't give him the answer. You can ask questions and nudge him in the right direction, but I really want to make sure he understands it himself. And he's here in the room, so you can talk to him directly.
Of course, I'd be happy to help. Let's look at the problem together. Can you first identify which sides of the triangle are the opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse relative to angle alpha?
All right, so I'm pretty sure this is the angle alpha right here, right?
Perfect. That's correct. Now, looking at the triangle, which side do you think is the hypotenuse?
Really,
Remember the hypotenuse?
I'm not totally sure. I think it might be this one, but I really am not sure. This side AC.
You're close. Actually, side AC is called the adjacent side to the angle alpha. The hypotenuse is the longest side of a right triangle and is directly opposite the right angle. Can you find which one is the hypotenuse?
Oh, okay, I see. So I think the hypotenuse is this really long side from A to B. Would that be correct?
Exactly. Well done. Now that you've identified the hypotenuse, can you identify which side is the opposite side to angle alpha?
Okay, well, I mean, you told me earlier that this was the adjacent side, and I know that's the hypotenuse, so I'm guessing that this side, BC, is the opposite side.
Great deduction. That's absolutely correct. Now that you've identified all the sides relative to angle alpha, do you remember the formula for finding the sine of an angle in a right triangle?
Yeah, I know that the sine is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse.
Perfect. That's absolutely right. Now, can you apply that formula to find sine alpha in the triangle using the lengths of the sides that we've identified?
Okay, so, I mean, you told me that 7, this side BC, is the opposite side. And then you said that the hypotenuse is the longest side, so that would be this side AB, which is 25. So would the answer be 7 over 25?
Excellent work. That's correct. Sine alpha equals 7 over 25.
So I'm not going to play anymore, but that's pretty darn good, you guys.
That is absolutely scary.
Isn't that crazy? That is just,
it's also going back too many years to remember.
I know, isn't that crazy?
The conversation between the two is just amazing. It's just like, a human being is there.
Human being, that's right. And that's where we are. And remember, this is 2024. What'll this be in another 5 years? This is but this is really good as it is.
So non-human seems to have the patience that humans don't have.
Yeah.
And if you don't get it, you can go back and keep doing it over and over and over again and reviewing it. And I think this is going to be really just a phenomenal learning experience for children, particularly if you have children who have specific areas that they need more help with, such as math, which is a good example that we just gave. So
in a lot of cases, the parents don't know, so they can't really help.
Well, that's true. That's right. So
for Hal and Space Odyssey.
Yeah, right.
I think we've got even beyond that.
Yeah. So anyway, introducing ChatGPT 4.0, the next leap in conversational AI. The world of AI and conventional technology is constantly evolving, and OpenAI's latest release, ChatGPT 4.0, marks the significant milestone, building the success and lessons of its predecessor of Chat 4.0, introduces a wide range of new features, improvements, designs to enhance experience.
That article is wrong because it's not 4.0. It's 4 little o, which stands for Omni, which Jolin reminded us in the.
And that's right. That's right. Stands for Omni. Now, this was the Google event. Of course, this was Sundar Pichai in his opening, and this is now not. They didn't talk a lot about this, but in addition to the Gemini, which was mostly it was about Android 15 Beta 2 is coming tomorrow, and it will be available for you. And there are some new articles that we'll be reviewing today about Android 15, which is the new operating system, major update for Android. Gemini's Flash AI model brings faster responses for more conversational interactions. The thing that I guess that I was concerned about this is, and Google is often bad for this, is that this is all coming. It's stuff that's in development, whereas Chat GPT 4.0 is coming this week, like it's here and now, right? So, any questions, you guys? Did you have any comments on what you saw this week? It's pretty exciting stuff, eh?
It is, and I watched several videos from the AI talking heads that are out there that I watch a lot, that are really keep up with this and know it, and they were really impressed with the Omni, the 4.0 Chat GPT,
right.
And they were somewhat actually a couple of them were quite impressed with the Google one, but Google says coming soon or will soon be here. It just I kind of disagreed with some of them on that.
Well, there's a lot of articles we'll be going through. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about it now, because a lot of the articles today that we're going to be going through have this as well, which we'll be reviewing.
And there's some other meetings coming up from other companies.
Exactly. You know, Microsoft's got one coming up too, so we'll be
Microsoft and another one I've got too. So
yeah, so that's an interesting. So Huey, are there any more comments before we get into the articles?
Let's see where we are.
Any more comments before we get? JJ from Waukegan and waiting for Bob's rain this afternoon. Steve Anderson, Milford, LA, party sunny and 61 degrees.
That's Louisiana, or it's either Iowa or Louisiana. One of them.
Jolin says real-time translation. The Android side is already there. Michael Daniels did his tip on that yesterday.
Okay, and this I already covered this.
Yeah, John. Oops, I think that should be on the Pixel. It's only on. Oops, I think it's only be on the Pixel. So Bob, you do have a Pixel, right? No, sorry, but Bill, you don't have a Pixel. You have a Samsung, right?
I have a Samsung 24.
So good. Okay.
One question, I was. Do you think this is going to be kind of the same wars that we had with the between Beta and
VHS?
VHS.
I don't know
which model is going to win out.
Yeah, you don't know. Yeah. I don't know. A lot of money riding on it, though. Billions and billions of dollars of development.
I was just looking at the Wikipedia on HAL, the 9000, which was a fictional artificial intelligence character in Space Odyssey, and so we're already there.
We are. All right, let me just refresh this to make sure.
There's still a couple more comments here.
Oh, a couple more. All right, here, let's bring them up. Jim Ham, could AI be better than teachers in the classroom? I guess you would. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yep, interesting.
Well, you still need to have the prompts. The teacher is going to have to provide the prompts. It's just not going to.
Jolin says, I think there's enough room in the world for Gemini, Copilot, and Chat GPT. There you are, Jolin.
Provided you can afford all of them.
Yeah, right. Bob Baxter, Bellevue, Washington, 55 degrees. Gemini does everything I have needed from it. And more.
Okay, we're caught up.
Okay, so the first article I think is Bob fishing. Do you have another? You have another video out. Surprise, surprise.
18 tips to help you recognize and avoid phishing scams. Staying informed and vigilant is the key to protecting yourself from phishing scams. And these 18 tips will help you avoid becoming a victim.
And no matter how much we talk about it, people are still being scammed all the time.
I just got finished redoing somebody's computer because Microsoft called him and told him he had an infection on his system. And he did after he got finished with them.
So Huey, Huey and I use Canva a lot. I guess they're getting a major update, or when's that happening?
Yep. Let's see, when does it say? Join our biggest event. I don't remember. The article does tell us when it is. It is coming up, though. I think it's this week. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I will look at that and have a look at that.
Should have a notice in your email.
Yeah. Yeah, it's coming. Let's have a look here. Right. Now, this was interesting. For those of you who watched the show last Friday or Monday, I did a whole thing on 5G, 6G technology. And if you haven't seen our show on Monday, it's all there. And this is an article that came out this morning. Why massive MIMO, which is the type of aerial, is a must for the 5.5G era. It's an interesting article because it talks all about again, new technology that's going to be helping transition from 5G to 6G, and how just the technology behind it. And it follows up sort of on what I talked about last Monday, and we're starting to see news articles about this technology as we move forward. So interesting reading. Just put that out there for you. The other one was this came out, and Android Auto, over 200 million cars have Android Auto a decade after its debut. And I have Android Auto in my car that I use, my new Toyota, and I love it. So interesting times for Android Auto.
And Ron, like you said, what was it, an 800-page manual that came with your car with all this technology? Those of us who are seniors some of us are afraid to get a new car because of the technology it's built into it. You have to learn how to use it.
Well, that's for sure. And God bless YouTube, because I'm not looking at my manual. You wouldn't believe it, but someone's made a video about every part of my Toyota, and I just can look up YouTube and find out, and they tell me what to do. But you're right. I don't want to read 800 pages. This was interesting. We talked last week about the new event last week, of course, was Apple and their iPad, and their new iPad Pro with the M4 chip. And this was a review of it, and said the iPad Pro, so very nice and so very expensive. So if you are, but I think probably that there are a lot of people that probably use their iPad as a primary computer, so rather than having it as an add-on. So anyway,
I find I use mine quite a bit, and one of the articles agreed with me that if you're going to get an iPad, spend the extra $100 or $125 or $150, I think it is, and get the cellular addition to it, so that it's available wherever you are.
Good point. The other thing, we were talking a bit about Google's launch, and one of the things that they launched and talked a lot about Gemini is a product called Learn LM, which is developed for schools and teachers. So they have a whole division within Google and Gemini working, and how generative AI expands curiosity, understanding with Learn LM, which is going to be their subset of instructions for teachers and schools. And I thought that was interesting as we branch out, because as everyone said, it'd be nice if when we saw that the video we played.
Yeah, I just read an article this morning from the Pew, PEW, which is a survey company. They went out and checked with what teachers are feeling about AI, and on the lower end, the early grades, the teachers are still mostly against it, but in the high school, it's really a lot more are against using AI, and so it's interesting that not all people are embracing AI.
It's almost like when you're a boss. There are those who think that if you teach your employees what your job is, that they'll take it away from you.
Yep.
That's not how things work.
There's a lot of misinformation as well.
Yep.
I think it's unfortunate.
Now, this came out this morning. This is to do with Android 15. Android will be able to detect if your phone has been snatched. So if someone comes along, Android is so smart now that they know it's you that's holding your phone and moving around with it. They know that the patterns you do and so on and so forth. And if someone comes and snatches your phone and takes it away, they have got that movement programmed in, and it will automatically lock it. So,
and it's going one step further. The person who snatches it is not going to be able to reset it.
Right. That's right. That's right. So interesting. I thought that was sort of cool. But that's Android 15, so that'll be.
And it's amazing how many people walk along the street or walk up and down the aisles of a store and so on, and they're looking at their phone or they're talking to somebody, and it's so easy for somebody just to grab it and run, and it's already open.
Yeah.
So it's not they even need the password to get in; they're in.
And this is, of course, what Bill just discussed. I tried ChatGPT 4.0, and it's a game changer for free ChatGPT users, and there it is on the phone. So it is available. Bill has it in Oklahoma. Bill, do you have any special relationship with ChatGPT? You don't. You're not a shareholder or part owner of the company. No particular reason why you got ChatGPT 4.0.
I'm just a fan.
Just a fan. All right. Anyway, make sure it's probably not on your PC. We can't see it on our PC, but on your phone, it's definitely there.
Well, also, I was going to say is that when they did their launch, apparently they included a dedicated app for the Mac for 4.0. So I downloaded that on my Mac as we were speaking, and it even has a shortcut key. So they did a lot of work, as Huey said, and kept it under wraps and sprung it in 30 minutes.
I know. And they preempted Google. I thought it was a brilliant strategy. I thought they snuck it in on Monday, and Google had the big event on Tuesday, and they completely upstaged them. And, the news articles are like, oh, my God, ChatGPT blows Google out of the water. There's all these news stories all over the place. It's pretty impressive.
It is.
Anyway, coming back to reality, Optimum Cable TV is sued over hidden internet junk fees. So a couple of stories that came out. Kim Commando had a good article out on junk fees. And I think, didn't the U.S. government the Biden administration passed a junk fee something law or something?
It's got to be totally disclosed.
Yeah. So anyway, this is interesting about junk fees. So I thought that might be an interesting article. This was the Kim Commando. I'm not going to, if you want to read the article, just click this button and it'll play it. But it's how to find and stop hidden junk fees, which I thought was, we all hate these stuff where we go and we sign up for something and all of a sudden, there's this, and this, and this administrative fees, and it goes on and on and on. So interesting article. I'm not going to go through it. It's sort of if you want to learn more, you can do that. Huey, this is yours. 100 things that were announced in I/O in 2.5 hours.
Yeah, and this is from Google. It was from one of their blogs. So it lists all 100 items, or talks about 100 items that they introduced and talked about. So you don't have to watch 2.5 hours of videos. You can just glance through this and see the items that they discussed.
Right. But most of it still, I think it's all vaporware, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because it's just not there yet. Okay. This is who published who?
I did.
Oh, that's yours. Okay.
Yeah. Apple's bringing eye tracking to iPhones and iPads, to the recent ones, and what it is for people who have trouble and can't use their hands or their fingers. They're going to be able to track their eyes, and so using their eyes, they're going to be able to change screens and look at articles and so on. So some real good technology there.
Apple really does a lot of work for people with disabilities, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're really amazing. Yeah. Well done, Apple. And this is. You're kidding. Most cord cutters are watching less TV. I don't think they're watching any TV, are they?
Yeah. Well, they're watching less, and when they do, this article goes on to explain most of them are time slicing. They're watching the on demand rather than live.
Right. It's I think that as we discussed as well in the last couple of weeks on our Monday show, times are changing, and I think probably the other thing that's happening is advertisers are really changing as well, and they're really wanting streaming services rather than because nobody's watching cable TV and the old ads.
Well, there was a program that I wanted to watch, a series on CW, and I couldn't find it using YouTube TV, which has CW on it. So I searched YouTube. I found it on YouTube, and not only can I watch the series, they don't have any advertisements in it. It's instead of an hour program, it's 43 minutes.
Yeah.
And there's 10 episodes to the series. I'm already through 7.
And there's all sorts of big announcements this week on streaming services and professional sports, right?
Yeah, and this is, I think it's Christmas Day, where you normally would watch football games on TV. Now you're going to have to be subscribed to Netflix to watch 2 games that will be on Netflix and not on free TV. So if you don't have the Netflix subscription, you aren't going to be able to watch them.
The world is changing, right?
Yep.
And then 4 new features coming to Android.
Ron, that sounds like if you don't have the dough, you can't watch the show.
Yeah.
No extra charge for the rhyme either.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, this is Android 15. There you go. What's this about, Huey?
Okay, Android 15 is not out yet. We're on 14.
Right.
But they are testing it, and 4 new features in it were announced. And if you want to read about them, this article will tell you about them.
Okay.
It's still vaporware. It's not out yet, but
it
there are
is
new things coming all the time.
Yeah,
you can side load it, but I highly vote against doing that.
Right. But I would have a look at these articles. There's going to be a lot of articles about this as it releases, and I think it'll probably release in the next couple of months. Bob, what do you? It's here.
Yeah, it's going to be a couple. It's going to be a couple of months before it's available.
And then not all phones get it at once.
Right.
Usually, Google comes out with it on their phones
Right.
first.
Android usually gets it first, and then it goes to everybody else.
And Samsung's got to rework it, so it's usually a couple of months after that before it's available on an Android
And
or on a
if you're locked
Samsung
into
phone.
a carrier, you may have to wait even longer.
Yep.
Before we get to the final 15 minutes, any other comments on?
You caught me off guard here. Let me see where we left off. Here we are.
E.D. Taylor Richards, 67 Fahrenheit, headed to 75.
And that was the only new one. They're so interested in what we're talking about, they're not commenting.
They're not commenting. Okay. Bob, scam proof your brain. What's
This is a little tutorial for those of us who think that we're so smart we're never going to get caught with the scam. But even the best of us can get caught. So this is more or less directed at those of us that are more than just brand new novices, so that you don't fall for the scams.
It is so easy to do, right?
Yep.
Okay. This was. Oh, now this is interesting. This is an article about Google TVs will soon double as a smart home hub. And I predict, now this is my prediction, I predict in the next couple of years, you're going to see TVs being more than just TVs. They're going to be doing more work around the house and becoming, why should a TV just be a dumb TV? Why couldn't it be an access point for your router? It could be a hub for there could be a lot more things that it could be doing other than just being a TV.
Bill, you're using the Google technology as opposed to the Miss A, aren't you?
I really have both by accident, because I bought a sound bar for my TV in my bedroom, and it had Alexa built into it. So I have both, and they seem to work well together. I mean, I don't have any conflicts. But back to what Ron is saying, I have a new LG TV, which actually can be used as a hub.
Mm, okay.
And I don't have it set up that way, but it does show it's using what's called oh gosh.
Oh, in what's it called? The new standard. What's it? Oh, what's it, Bob? What's the new standard for Internet of
I've got
Things?
the same senior block you guys have.
Someone put it in chat. What's the new?
It's not Matter. I think that's what
It didn't matter.
That's
Yeah,
what
it's
it is.
matter.
Matter.
It's matter. It's
not
matter.
Matter.
This is Thin IQ,
Thin IQ.
which is another protocol.
Gee, I've never heard of that one. I heard of Matter. I mean, Matter is.
I think it's a product of LG. Thin IQ.
Thin
And this TV also has some AI built into it, but I haven't really tried using all of that yet.
What amazes me is you're not hearing anything about Miss A or the Google internal home system. None of them are coming out with anything with AI, and that's really where it's needed.
I would
because
agree.
that's
It would be nice if Miss A became that interpreter that we need sometimes.
yeah, and just in general, what AI does, there's no real use. The only thing I'm using for is asking it for weather and to turn on the lights and turn them off.
Yeah, a timer, a reminder, and that kind of stuff. Yep.
But it could do so much more.
Mm-hmm. Bob, this was following I/O. Several exciting updates have been announced by
Well, I turned this thing around, and the announcements are made. They have many features coming out. Only a few of them are available, and the rest of them are promised in the future. And this Google Doc that I put together tells you what you can use right now and what's expected in the future.
Oh, good. Okay, great. So it's a reference. So you just click this and it'll open up and it's a reference.
Right. Takes you Google Doc I created.
Good. Okay. Thanks, Bob. That's a good idea. Yeah. Thanks. Because so much of it is vaporware.
Yep.
Now this sort of rolls into what we talked about last Monday. T-Mobile is improving its 5G home internet with better Wi-Fi. And again, this is we talked a lot about this last week, so I'm not going to sort of delve into this a lot, but just to remind everyone that not only is this happening, but they're including with this services a mesh router. In other words, so it's a whole package deal that they're going to be bringing to you. And if you want to see exactly how this is going to work, watch the show last week, and Ray Baxter is part of the video I made, and he's exactly this. He epitomizes exactly what's happening here. He got a new T-Mobile tower next to his house, and he's now on his cell phone getting 500 megabits down right on his home phone, and that he's just waiting for this service to be available on that particular tower, and then it's goodbye cable. So and he lives in Pine, Arizona. So interesting times. Now this again, you would think just as we were saying goodbye to Comcast, I see that they announced last week that there was a $30 internet package, and they're now called as everyone's fleeing their service. Comcast is launching a bundle version of Peacock, Netflix, Apple TV for a reduced price. Do you think that's going to be interesting to anyone, or what do you?
Yeah, it's if you want those services, but it's kind of working against the whole idea of cord cutting, because it's bundling in and you're getting things that you may not want.
Probably right.
But this is how Comcast is staying in the game.
Right.
For me, it's the only game.
Yeah, right. Now, this is another article, very interesting. On application of AI, and this is how AI is changing the car buying process for buyers and sellers alike. We're always talking about AI in instruction like we did, or AI in translation, but there's a whole other, with Cox Automotive, they were talking about a whole other part of life, and that is buying and selling cars, which we all have and do. And, the traditional way of going and doing shopping either online or dealing with in person is all changing, and there's a whole technology behind now, AI involving this. So for those younger people, or people who are interested in purchasing cars, whether through CarMax or whatever, there's a lot of AI coming out now that will help you with all that. So that's sort of fun and interesting, another application. Now let's have a look here. Whoops. We're going to come back. Oh, did it take me back to the start? Oh,
yeah,
guys.
I think it took you back to the beginning.
All right, sorry, we got to come back. We'll just blast down here. We'll come back.
Keep going.
Keep going. Keep going. T-Mobile, Peacock. There we go. Next one.
Yep, there you go. Yep.
Now, this was another interesting one. Not that Bob hasn't talked about this before. Google is recording your voice. Here's how to stop it. And if you're looking at security and privacy, there may be some reasons why you don't want them doing this. And this was a Kim Commando article, and it was a darn good article. I enjoyed reading it. So I thought this is...
yeah, but if you followed my advice quite some time ago, this would not apply to you.
Yeah. I know. Bob, there are people who might just have missed your talk. They're not many, but for the few that did, then this is actually a pretty good article, and you may want to consider that.
You covered that already.
We covered that, and now this is the other thing that was really interesting. Did you guys see this demonstration? This was a demonstration they did. I should have actually done the clip on this. They did. So the clip about this was they wanted this couple was going to travel to a certain location and get married, right? And so they said to Gemini that they wanted to go to this particular. I don't know if it suggested the location as well, but not only did it suggest the location, but also it suggested the time, the dates, particularly because of the weather that was typical in that area. And it also gave them all the local wedding planners. It gave them all the services surrounding their wedding, and it gave the whole package, all based on the input that they put in. And this all went through Google Maps, and it was pretty impressive what what it did. It'd be easy to be a wedding planner, or you're planning your summer holiday, or you want to see places to go and what's the best traffic flow. And these, I mean, it's really impressive what's coming out. Did you guys see this?
But it's an upcoming feature.
It is an upcoming feature, but it is, Google seems to be putting a lot of effort into Google Maps, and it's always amazing what features they have in there. So watch for this, because this is going to be really interesting.
Yeah, especially if you're getting married.
Yeah, right. Well, that's a marriage application, but there's, you could be getting divorced. Maybe there's good times in the year to get divorced.
Yeah.
Or whatever, I don't know. So, but I think it'd be sort of cool. Now, this was a reason why I don't think the Google Pixel 8a is a great deal. I mean, if you need a phone and you have to have one now, and you think that's okay, it's great value and a pretty darn good phone. But the Google 9 lineup is going to be, we're looking in the fall, like not too far from now, we're going to be looking at the Pixel 9, which will have, as this article all discussed, it will be designed for AI and have their new updated chip in there that will all be powered. So we're looking at, so this is on the horizon. So like Bob and I are sort of sitting there with our Pixel 6s thinking, what are we going to do? And should we, where we're going with this? So we're just sitting and sitting and sitting, but soon we'll have to make a decision, Bob?
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to get the Pixel 9 for $500.
Well, no, that's true. I know, but it depends on what these. When you saw the stuff that we can do today with this, it's pretty crazy. And anyway, but this is coming.
That's true of anything we want to buy anymore. A new computer, new laptop, a new phone. The one that's on the way has got so much more than what we've got today.
Yes. And then there's the Google targets filmmakers announced with VEO, another product. It's new generative AI video model.
Yeah, it's more likely that VEO will be available to us than the was it Sona, the Sora.
Sorry,
that was so impressive that we may never be able to see or to afford, where the VEO may be.
Interesting, eh? Yep. And then Pixel 9 series will get upgraded version of Gemini Nano, which is the new chip for that. So that will be that'll be available on the Pixel 9. So coming up. Oh, yes. This was a good article. I know we only have 3 minutes left, but I got to tell you about this. This is a website called, Bob, have you heard of Delete Me? Do you guys know about Delete Me?
Yeah, it was actually the security show I went to recently. They had a booth there.
So how I got to know about this was it was Leo Laporte, and a guy phoned, and Delete Me is a sponsor on the tech show that he runs, and he had a fella phone in, an audience viewer phone in, who worked in the criminal justice system in technology. He was a techie guy that worked in the criminal justice system. I'm not sure he didn't give the specifics, but he was so upset because he frequently does Google searches on his name, right? And normally he doesn't get anything because he goes and deletes everything and makes sure he's very security minded because of the type of job he has. But when he did the last search, he got not only his house, the condo complex he lived in, it got his address, images of the house, and everything was there right on Google, right? And he would just went berserk, right? And he hired Delete Me. He'd heard about it on Leo's show, hired Delete Me, and he works in this type of environment, and hired Delete Me, which is a paid service. Anyway, they completely removed all personal data about him, and he was so appreciative, and he was in the know, and said he really appreciated the company and the great work they did. So I guess this is just thought it would bring this up for everyone so that it is an option.
Just one interjection.
Mhm.
So he was able to delete all his information from Google. He cannot delete it from all services all over the world that automatically back up everything you put online the second you put it online. The only way to totally ever prevent it from getting online is to not put it there in the first place. So think before you hit that send button. That's the only true way. Okay. Yes, there are services out there, and yes, you can be as private as can be, but you also won't be able to use anything. What happens if you get drunk one night and you can't remember where you live? Thank God Google Maps can find your way home. I'm sorry, but let's be realistic. The day of being totally anonymous are over.
And the other thing that deleting does, it's an ongoing process. In other words, they're constantly reviewing this and doing updates on it and keeping your data secure. Anyway, it was just an interesting. The fellow was a very knowledgeable person that phoned in. He was in that business sort of thing, and he really thought this was a good service. So I just throw that out. If
a suggestion, which is scary at the same time, is for all of our visitors to Google your own name.
Yeah, you don't want to know.
It's scary. It's scary how much information is out there.
Any final comments, Huey, before
there's a couple. I'm going to start at the bottom and go up. There's two that I want to cover.
Don said, I would definitely wait for 9. I've seen some not so favorable reviews of the 8A. Okay.
And that's the Pixel she's talking about. Yep. And then this one.
Mike says, AI helped me decide on the EV I would purchase, but when I used AI to calculate or rate vehicle and specifications, I got a lot of incorrect responses. Thanks, Mike.
Of course, that was 6 months ago. It's all changed since.
Well, yeah, it's life. Life gets better, and it's. But you have to fact check. But it's interesting. Anyway, listen, I want to thank everyone
to keep checking with their internet service provider. You better check with your AI, because it changes even faster than your internet service provider.
Right. Okay, I want to thank everyone for coming. This is top of the hour, and we do appreciate you coming. Don't forget, not only click that like, please subscribe to the channel. That really helps us. And we will see everyone back again. We'll be here next week. I can't remember. Is there any anything big coming up this next week? I can't remember.
The APCUG Saturday Safari is coming up this weekend.
Okay,
Saturday.
Great. Okay, and Saturday, and we will see everyone. Of course, on the Monday show. We'll see you for our Monday show. It'll be we'll be getting that organized. And so, in other words, we'll be back here again, same time, same place in a week's time. So have a great day, everyone. And
bye, everybody.
We'll see you soon. Bye now.